Let me take a moment and talk about Riverside.fm. It allows you to record studio quality audio and up to 4K video. When you need to record audio and video, Riverside.fm can do it. So if you're looking for a hero platform for all your recording needs, from podcasts to webinars to any video content, Riverside.fm. I've got a promo code for you where you'll receive a 30% discount on the first 3 months of your subscription. I'll give it to you twice. The promo code is SHIPIT. All one word, SHIPIT, and you'll pick up a 30% discount on your first 3 months of your subscription. Riverside.fm.
In this episode of the Football History Headlines on your Best of the Pigskin Dispatch, we discuss All-Star games, Pro Bowls, Super Bowl VIII, as well as a quarterback so dedicated to winning that he changed from throwing right-handed to become a lefty, and many more Hall of Fame legendary stories for January 13th.
This is the Pigskin Daily History Dispatch, a podcast that covers the anniversaries of American football events throughout history on a day-to-day basis. Your host, Darren Hayes, is podcasting from America's North Shore to bring you the memories of the gridiron, one day at a time. So as we come out of the tunnel of the Sports History Network, let's take the field and go no huddle through the portal of positive gridiron history with pigskindispatch.com.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
Hello, my football friends. This is Darren Hayes of pigskindispatch.com, and welcome once again to the Pig Pen, your portal to positive football history, and to the Sports History Network, your headquarters of sports yesteryear, where you can find all kinds of great sports podcasting and blog posts that'll really make your day, because there is quite a bit of information at sportshistorynetwork.com and at pigskindispatch.com. And now let's get to your gridiron history on this Gridiron Day in your Football History Headlines. And thank you once again for joining us on your Football History Headlines and Birthdays of Hall of Famers on the Pigskin Dispatch Daily Podcast. And today our headlines start us back at January 13th, 1957 at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. The NFL held its 7th annual Pro Bowl game, and it was the All-Stars of the Western Conference who overcame the challenge of their Eastern Conference rivals 19-10 on the scoreboard. The most valuable player on the defensive side was Pittsburgh's Ernie Stautner, a defensive tackle, and Baltimore Colt Bert Retchachar, a kicker who won the award for the MVP of the offense. January 13th, 1958, the NCAA adds a 2-point conversion to football scoring. Despite the play used in college ball, according to a Live About website, it was not immediately adapted into professional football. In fact, the 2-point conversion rule was not adopted in the NFL until the year 1994. The professional levels of football did tinker with the 2-point play prior to 1994, though. According to the American Football Database, the AFL used the conversion tactic in its 10 years of existence in the 1960s. The NFL Europe and its reincarnation, the World League of American Football, adopted the rule were probably further testing ground prior to being in the NFL's adoption. It really added some interesting dynamics to contests, as formulas and charts have been famously made to determine when a team should go for 2. The success of the 2-point try has been reported to be anywhere from 40% to 55% of accomplishment, so there's plenty of a risk and reward aspect to going for 2. January 13th, 1963, at Balboa Stadium in San Diego, California, the second AFL All-Star Game was played. And in the contest, it was the Western Division All-Stars who edged their Eastern Division counterparts 21-14. The MVPs of the game were Dallas Texans running back Curtis McClinton and Earl Fison, who played defensive end for the Chargers. Interestingly enough, on January 13, 1963, the exact same day as the AFL's All-Star Game, the annual NFL Pro Bowl game was played at Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum once again. The NFL Eastern Conference outscored the Western Conference Pro Bowlers 30-20. The offensive most valuable player was running back Jim Brown of the Cleveland Browns, while the MVP of the defense was Pittsburgh's defensive tackle Eugene Lipscomb. January 13th, 1974, at Rice Stadium in Houston, Texas, the Miami Dolphins won their second consecutive NFL title by claiming victory over the Minnesota Vikings in Super Bowl VIII. The final score was Miami 24, Minnesota 7. The Super Bowl VIII most valuable player was bruising running back Larry Zonka of the Dolphins. January 13th, 2020, the Superdome in New Orleans. The national championship for college football took place as Heisman Trophy winner Joe Burrow and his teammates of the number 1 LSU Tigers were being tested by Trevor Lawrence and the rest of the Tigers of the number 3 Clemson team. LSU overpowered Clemson 42-15 to win the National College Playoff Championship in this battle of the Tigers.
Football history headline on 2. Ready, break.
Now let's take a quick break from our headlines and let me remind you can learn more about gridiron history on our website, pigskindispatch.com. And you can contact me, Darren Hayes, at pigskindispatch@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Speaking of hearing from someone who's here is one of my podcasting partners from the sportshistorynetwork.com that has a message just for you.
Hi, this is John Gidley. Join me each Friday for a trip into the football attic, where I'll delve into forgotten but noteworthy stories of the National Football League. You're bound to learn something new or have your memory jogged each week. That's every Friday only on the Sports History Network and wherever podcasts are available.
Wichita, Blow 32, what a fight!
Now let's talk about those birthdays of the Hall of Famers, as we always do at this segment in the show. And January 13th holds some special ones. 1907, Sulphur Springs, Texas. Southern Methodist University stalwart quarterback Gerald Mann arrived into life. SMU's coach Ray Morrison wanted to have an explosive passing offense in the mid-1920s, and he figured a passing attack with a left-handed thrower would be really productive. Mann was right-handed, but he told Coach Morrison not to look any further, according to the NFF. Gerald spent the offseason learning how to toss a ball southpaw. The bio goes on to say that, according to Morrison, Mann completed a number of left-handed passes in crucial situations for SMU. Mann was pivotal in SMU's Southwest Conference title in 1926, when the team finished the regular season at 8-0-1. The tie was a 7-7 stalemate with Missouri. The truly versatile Gerald Mann was inducted by NFF voters into the College Football Hall of Fame in the year 1969. January 13th, 1947, Cairo, Georgia. The defensive tackle Bill Stanfill of Georgia celebrated his arrival into the world. The National Football Foundation voters chose Bill Stanfill for induction into the College Football Hall of Fame in the year 1998. January 13th, 1958, at Vero Beach, Florida. Florida A&M's outstanding guard Tyrone McGriff was born. The College Football Hall of Fame happily opened its doors wide to accept Tyrone McGriff into the Lodge of Collegiate Legends in 1996. Once again, we're thrilled and thankful that you joined us on this football history headlines for January 13th, and you heard all this great gridiron history. You can enjoy it every day on the Pigskin Daily History Dispatch podcast by clicking a subscribe button on your podcast player or going to your podcast provider and telling them that you want to listen to Pigskin Dispatch every single day. They'll let you do it. And you can also check us out at pigskindispatch@gmail.com and let us know that you want to get the daily email updates so that you can get the podcasts and our articles that are posted on pigskindispatch.com. Another way of doing it is going to the sportshistorynetwork.com, where this podcast and many more from my fellow podcasters and partners in the Sports History Network will bring you the sports history every single day. And we're not just covering football. We have all kinds of sports, and we have some very entertaining podcasters and some excellent guests on many of these programs. So make sure you check it out at the sportshistorynetwork.com and also look at us on the pigskindispatch.com. Peeking up at the clock, the time's running down. We're going to go into victory formation, take a knee, and let this baby run out. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back tomorrow for the next podcast. We invite you to check out our website, pigskindispatch.com, not only to see the daily football history, but to experience positive football with our many articles on the good people of the game, as well as our own football comic strip, Cleat Marks Comics. Pigskindispatch.com is also on social media outlets, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and don't forget the Pigskin Dispatch YouTube channel to get all of your positive football news and history. A special thanks to the talents of Mike and Jean Monroe, as well as Jason Neff for letting us use their music during our podcast.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
It was just another ordinary day in the offices of the Pittsburgh Guardian newspaper circa 1924. But for Marla Delft, assistant editor, everything was about to change. For she was about to discover the awesome attractiveness of Row 1 brand retro sports paraphernalia items thanks to Orville Mulligan, sports writer.
And there it is.
Wow, Orville, that's really the bee's knees.
Isn't it just? A poster-sized replica of the actual 1909 World Series program cover.
I can see that. But where did you get it? And where'd you get it framed?
I ordered it from the Row 1 website, where over 6,000 items of sports memorabilia from the 1880s to the 1990s are available for reproduction in multiple sizes and in several different materials, with over a dozen styles of frame to choose from for prints like this.
Well, I'm sure Mr. Delft would love to put up more of these in the office. But I'm equally as sure they're beyond this newspaper's budget.
Not at all, my dear Marla. See for yourself. Go to sportshistorynetwork.com/row1.
sportshistorynetwork.com/row1. Oh my, these are good prices. Oh, and look at this stuff. Oklahoma-Nebraska football, college basketball art, Michael Jordan items.
And so it
retro
was that
sports
Marla Delft
advertisement
discovered the
placards.
splendiferous magic of Row 1 sports memorabilia, arts, and prints. You can too by visiting sportshistorynetwork.com/row1. That's ROW1 today for access to the full Row 1 catalog of gallery prints and gifts like t-shirts, long-sleeve shirts, telephone cases, coffee mugs, blankets, pillows, towels, and even shower curtains. Act today for 15% discount off all prints with coupon code SHN15 and 20% off all other items with coupon code SHN20 at checkout. And keep your dial locked to the Sports History Network for the exciting chronicles of the 1920 sports world in Orville Mulligan, sports writer. Coming soon.
Are you having a hard time figuring out what to get Dad for Father's Day? You should check out Row 1 Brand's Vintage Pictorum Gallery. They have America's best sports art. With over 7,200 historic sports prints, you're assured to find something unique for Dad this Father's Day. Instead of a boring old tie, get him a historic baseball photo taken by Henry High Sandham at the historic Polo Grounds Stadium in New York City during the 1894 Temple Cup. Or, if he's an NFL buff, check out the 1963 vintage NFL poster. These are so good looking that you'll be amazed how they turn out. Shop now at sportshistorynetwork.com/row1 and save 15% off your order.